Hey everyone, welcome. It's Thursday. I like to share a nutrition tip of sorts on Thursday evenings. So here we are. Welcome. I hope that your week has been awesome. Mine has been busy, but also a little bit relaxed. We're starting marathon taper, and I have napped, and it's been wonderful. My body says, yes, let me recover, but my mind says, but I want to do something else. So I am balancing that and taking a little bit more time for rest. But tonight, I want to talk about meal prep tips. So I alluded to this last week in my video that I had created in terms of helping with nutrition tips, and wanted to talk tonight about meal prepping. And I actually had a quote that I wanted to start with for it, and it's Colin Powell. I love the quote, and he says, "There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, of hard work, and of learning from failure." And I would even expand upon that and say, well, what exactly is failure? Because failure can have this like negative connotation, like, yes, I planned to do something and I failed because I didn't follow through, or something came up, or, in this case, we're talking about meal prepping and planning your meals and nutrition and things like that so that they align with your health, fitness, and wellness goals. Failure meaning just feedback, saying, okay, this came up, what do we need to tweak? It didn't work out this time, what do we need to do to change it so that it will work out next time? So I like to think of failure as just feedback. It's not this like negative thing like, oh my God, I failed. Like, it's not a status. It's not constant, if you will. Okay, it's just feedback. You try something, you learn that you need to change something, so you adjust and you try again. Easy, right? It's not personal. Don't get attached to it. So my questions for you is, do you find yourself having trouble planning meals from day to day? Like we all, probably all of y'all tuning into this and watching this have busy lives, right? Do you have trouble with planning the meals that you eat from day to day? Maybe breakfast is the easiest and dinner is like the hardest. That's very common. Do you ever scramble at the last minute to get food only to grab something that isn't optimally nutritious just because it's convenient, right? It's like maybe you don't actually want to get some fast food, but you do because it's fast, it's easy, and it will quench your hunger or hangriness, right? Hunger to the point where you get kind of like aggravated, agitated, angry, hangry. So planning and execution are essential to success in anything, right? My question for you is, how can you plan your meals to eat what it is that will fuel you and keep you in alignment with your health, your fitness, and your wellness goals? So here are some simple meal prep tips to help you get and to stay on track throughout the week. Number one is plan ahead. A lot of success is found in planning. That was in the quote that I just had stated. Try to have at least enough food for 3 days in advance, so 3 days at a time, to help take out the guesswork. Like, oh, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know. Well, actually, it's already in the fridge. Or actually, I've already got it with me. I'm working late. Awesome, I can just eat it now. Taking, like, let's say 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon, evening, whatever, will actually save you several hours throughout the week. Okay, so you might consider that and say, oh gosh, 2 hours on a Sunday, like that's a lot. But actually, if you equated it out, like throughout the week, the time that you wind up spending thinking about food, if you don't take that time on a Sunday, can actually be greater than the time that you would actually take to prep food on Sunday. Okay, and you can like make it fun. This is the big thing here. It's like, don't just like think of it as like, okay, gosh, I gotta start cooking some food for the week. All right, let's get it. Sunday's rest day, recovering, rejuvenating for the week, but I need to get this done. Like, make it fun. Throw on like a fun, good music station, something that's like uplifting, gets you moving, or like, if you're into motivational talks, something to jam it out and like to feel inspired. Make it a fun, enjoyable experience. Find the variables that work for you in order to make it something that you want to do, because it's going to help you. So number 2 is, it's very practical, roast a whole chicken. Like, this gives you tons of meat to work with throughout the week, okay? And you can pair it with different things. You can put it on a salad, you can do it with grilled vegetables, you can mix it with quinoa. Like, you can do so many things with one ingredient if you just make a whole bunch of it, specifically chicken. I like to get a whole bunch of chicken breasts and throw them in the crock pot overnight, throw them in the slow cooker, put some like delicious marinade, like low fat, low sodium marinade, or vinaigrette or something like that, that it cooks into it, and it comes out quite delicious, very savory and very tender. Cook it overnight. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time other than just breaking it up and putting it in containers in the morning. So you could even do that on a Sunday morning. Put it in the crock pot and then take it out 5 p.m. or something like that. Take it out in the evening. Number 3 is add a mix of your favorite veggies, be it, think of kale, peppers, cabbage, radish, and some spices into several like mason jars. Mason jars make really great kind of like to-go items and storage containers as well. Then you also don't have to worry about the plastic, if it's BPA free or if it's not. Let's just stick with glass, whatever, not thinking about it anymore. Anyway, tangent. And, throw it on the skillet. You can make a fresh saute or add it to some greens for a salad and, squeeze some lemon in it, put a light dressing on it, make it a salad. Very easy, right? You can bake a handful of sweet potatoes. Right now it's October. It's nearing the end of October. Sweet potatoes are in season. Yes. You can bake a handful of sweet potatoes and have them on, like, easy to grab, right? Easy to pair with something else. Easy to pair with the chicken. Little things like that make it very, very easy. And spice it up with some cinnamon or a little bit of salt, pepper, that kind of a thing. Try and stay away from excessive amounts of butter, of course, but that's a great option. And number 4, grill a bunch of vegetables. So, like, really, truly, I think nothing is better than some fire-grilled asparagus or zucchini. Like, pick your favorites and flavor it up. Like, spice it up with some cumin or red pepper or basil. Like, find flavors that you enjoy that are really easy, maybe this isn't a meal that's an event, that you're trying to make this big fancy dinner that's going to last throughout the week, but just like, something that's practical, that's functional, but yet you still enjoy it and you want to eat it throughout the week. So that way it's available to you. Number 5, and this is one of the things that I do because I'm constantly on the go, is keep a favorite protein bar on hand, in your bag or in your car, especially now that it's getting cooler outside. That's a little bit easier. Find one that doesn't melt, right? That way you're not forced to grab something that you don't necessarily want, and you're not forced to spend the money on it, and you're not forced to eat it, right? Because it's convenient and that's the only thing that you've got right now. Whenever you get hungry, whenever you get hangry, have that on hand so that you can grab that and not even have to take the time to go and get something somewhere and spend your money that you don't really want to spend on something that isn't going to nourish you in the way that you're intending for it to nourish you, right? So a lot of fast food places, their foods are laden with preservatives and they're highly processed and they're not really as nutritionally dense. Maybe they're higher caloric content, but they're not high nutrients to fuel you throughout your day. So a lot of times they can leave us feeling sluggish and kind of blah afterwards, but yay, we got food in, So keep a protein bar on hand, something like that. That way you're not pigeonholed into that solution of just grabbing something from somewhere that really has no purpose or value other than the fact that you're busy and going from place to place and need some sustenance in your body, some fuel to keep you going. Lastly, so let's say, we're heading into the holiday season, and I'm going to start talking about this a whole lot more. Like, if a friend or relative, invites you to a dinner, an event, a festival, etc., where there's going to be food that doesn't support your goals, doesn't support the alignment of you with your health, nutrition, and fitness habits that you want to set up in your life, there's a couple of helpful solutions that I've got for you. Number one, don't go hungry. Okay? In other words, eat the foods and the meals that you already have pre-planned to eat and go to the event already satiated, satisfied, right? Maybe not stuffed, but, to the point where you can turn away the, thinking about holiday parties and stuff, the eggnog or something, or, just something that's not going to help you with your goals, with what you really say you want. Number two, consider explaining to them, like your friends, family, relatives, all of that, about your journey and about the fact that, you're working to make lifestyle changes. And more often than not, you'll probably find that they'll be supportive of you and they'll understand, they'll be understanding. Say, okay, I got it, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'll see you there. Whatever. Number three, if all else fails, if that's not possible for you in a given time, remember the 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule says eat 80% nutritionally well and 20% other stuff, right? This is moderation, okay? That way you're not making a habit of eating 80% unwell or not nutritionally dense. But you're actually eating you're eating nutritionally well 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you've got a little bit of flexibility that you can work with in order to keep you going, attend events and dinners and holiday parties and all that kind of stuff, still have a good time, still enjoy yourself, and not be starving, right? So this gets you started. If you'd like to explore what some solutions could be for you specifically, with your specific life variables, your schedule, your resources, your responsibilities, and that kind of stuff, reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to explore, what solutions that we can find for you and keep you on track with what your health and fitness and wellness goals are throughout the holiday season, throughout the rest of this year, so that if we're looking forward to January 1, it's not a starting over kind of thing. The success rate in that, of course, has been analyzed and studied and has fallen short most of the time. If we can actually create a lifestyle change that doesn't require a restart, then that is going to bring more success over the long term, right? Because it's sustainable lifestyle change, one that you enjoy and makes you feel good, nourishes you, and fuels your life and all the other things that are going on in it. So reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.